Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back. Quran Journey. It's your brother Salaf. Inshallah, we're going to continue from where we left off. In lesson 7, we learned, right, something new. We learned about our mud letters, right? There are 3 mud letters, right? There are 3 letters that we use to help us apply mud, to make the sounding of the letter long, right? And there are alif, waw, and ya, right? So we said whenever we see them, whenever we see them with no haraka on it, no haraka means fatha, kasra, dhamma, nothing on it, right? That's when we know it's being used as a mud, right? So inshallah, we're gonna make sure you had practiced lesson 7 before moving on to the next lesson, inshallah. Inshallah, today we're going to start off from lesson 8 bi'idhnillah. So lesson 8, if you understood lesson 7, lesson 8 is going to be easy, weezy, peasy, and easy, weezy, teasy for you. All right. So lesson 8, we're also dealing with the mud letters. All right. We're dealing with the mud letters, right? In the first half of the lesson, we're dealing with the mud letters, and then we have, you know, something a little new that's going to be introduced, inshallah. All right. So the mud letters. So quickly, um, we said our mud letters are, right? We said our mud letters are alif, waw, and ya, right? These are our mud letters, right? Alif, waw, and ya, right? So these 3 letters, our mud letters, right? Alif, waw, ya. And then we said the alif, right? The alif works with the fatha, right? The alif works with the fatha. We said the waw works with the dhamma, right? And then the ya works with the kasra. Meaning, when if you have a letter and it has a fatha on it, and you want to make it long, right? You use the alif mud, right? We use the alif mud. If we have a letter with a dhamma on it and we want to make the sounding long, we use the waw mud letter. If we have a letter that's carrying a kasra and we want to make the sounding long, we use the ya mud. All right, inshallah. Uh, inshallah. Again. So the difference between lesson 8 and lesson 7 is lesson 8. So we're seeing the mud letters in the original form, right? Like, in lesson 8, we was reading the alif saghira, the alif, the small alif, the small waw, the small ya. In this lesson, we're introduced the mud in their, you know, let's say normal size, normal size. All right. Um, inshallah. Also, one thing that I want to point out, right, is that the wow mud, right? Or we call it wow sukun, all right? So we can call it wow mud or wow sukun. We call it alif or alif sukun, wow sukun, ya sukun. All right. So in this lesson, we're gonna call these alif sukun, wow sukun, and ya sukun. All right. Alif sukun, wow sukun, ya sukun, and they're our mud letters. All right. So alif sukun, wow sukun, and ya sukun. All right. So we're gonna call them alif sukun, wow sukun, and ya sukun. All right. So just sukun. All right. And sukun just means like is like silently placed. All right. So it's called sukoon because it has no haraka. Remember we said whenever we have the alif with no haraka, that's when we know we're applying mud. Whenever we see the wow, right? Whenever we see the wow with no haraka, that's when we know we're applying mud. We're making the sound long. Right? So sukoon means like it's not carrying any haraka. All right. So we call it alif sukoon. We call this wow sukoon, and we call this ya sukoon. Okay, and these three are our mud letters. Okay. One thing that I want to point out before we start reading the lesson is if you notice, right, all the wow sukoons, right, almost all the wow sukoons, there's a alif next to them. There's an alif next to it. All right, all the wow sukoons, there's an alif next to it. All right. So most of the time you will see that. All right. Not to go too deep in onto why, but most of the time you will see that, right? The wow, you see all the wow sukoons, there's an alif next to them. So that alif there, again, the alif is just chilling there, all right? So we're just looking at the wow, all right? So that alif that comes after the wow sukoon, like a part of the word, right? It's just chilling there, all right? It's just chilling, okay? So inshallah, I'm going to read it, and you follow along, inshallah. So we have ba, fatha, alif, sukoon. Remember we mentioned, right? The first thing that we look at is the letter. Right? The first thing that we look at is the letter. And then we look at the haraka. And then we look at the mud. Okay? So this is us breaking it down. This is us breaking it down. All right? So we have ba, fatha, alif, sukoon, ba. Also, this is pronounced, right? We make it long for how long? 2 seconds. All right? The same as the saghiras. Right? So 2 seconds. All right? We make it long for 2 seconds. Just 2 seconds. But let's just put 2 sukoons. Yeah. Sorry. 2 seconds. All right? Make it long for 2 seconds. All right? Okay. So we have ba, fatha, alif sukoon, ba. So alif sukoon, ba. Ba, dhamma, wow sukoon, boo. You go back. Babu. Ba, kasra, ya sukoon, bi. Babu, bi. Ta, fatha, alif sukoon, ta. Ta, dhamma, wow sukoon, tu. Ta, tu. Ta, كسرة يا سكون تي تا تو تي. So this entire lesson, that's all we're going to be practicing. All right. So we're going to go over probably 2-3 lines, and then the rest you're going to watch the video or listen to the audio and just complete the rest of the lesson on your own. All right. So just practice on your own. All right. So we're going to read 3 lines together, inshallah. And then the rest, I want you to just practice. All right, the rest, I just want you to practice on your own. Okay. All right. So we're gonna start from the top. All right. I want you to repeat after me. Okay. Ba fatha alif sukun ba. Ba dhamma waw sukun bu. Ba bu. Ba كسرة يا سكون بي. بابو بي. So we break it down, right? Next one. تا فتحة ألف سكون تا. تا ضمة واو سكون تو. تا تو. تا كسرة يا سكون تي. تا تو تي. ثا فتحة ألف سكون ثا. ثا ضمة واو سكون ثو. ثا ثو. ثا كسرة يا سكون ثي. ثا ثو ثي. Make sure to pronounce it ثا ثا, right? حا فتحة ألف سكون حا. 2 seconds. حا ضمة واو سكون حو. حا حو. حا كسرة يا سكون حي. حا حو حي. خا فتحة ألف سكون خا. خا ضمة واو سكون خو. خا خو. خا كسرة يا سكون خي. خا خو خي. So you guys, you're seeing the pattern, right? Ba bu bi, ta tu ti, tha thu thi, ha hu hi, kha khu khi. Huh? So ra fatha alif sukun ra. را ضمة واو سكون رو. را رو. را كسرة يا سكون ري. را رو ري. زا فتحة ألف سكون زا. زا ضمة واو سكون زو. زا زو. زا كسرة يا سكون زي. زا زو زي. Same pattern. However, you have to practice this part of the lesson plenty times, until you master it. Also, you guys notice here how the raw and the alif sukun don't connect. right? The Ra and the Waw Sukun is not connecting, as in like in written form, right? We see like they're separated, right? Remember, because we remember from lesson 2, we mentioned how there are some letters you cannot connect in front of them, right? Remember? So Ra is part of those letters. So if you remember, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters, right? 6 letters that you cannot connect in front of them, right? And if you can remember those letters, we said it was Alif, right? Ra, Za, Dal, that. Hold on, sorry. Let me write them in order, right? So we have Alif, Dal, Dal, Ra, Za, and Wow, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So these 6 letters, right? We're not able to connect in front of them. That is the reason why the Ra, Fatha, Alif, Sukun here, the Alif is not being connected to the Ra. However, the Alif is connected to the Ba right here, it's connected to the Ta, it's connected to the Tha, right? It's connected to the Ha. However, the Ra, right, is all separate, right? It's separate because we're not able to connect to it. So inshallah, I want you to practice, right, this first part of the lesson, right? So this is lesson 8, lesson 8A, all right? All right, and I want you to stop right here at the purple, okay? All right, just stop right at the purple, and inshallah, our next lesson, we're gonna go over the last part of the lesson, right? Which is lesson 8B, okay? So make sure you practice. For this part, again, just follow along with the video or the audio. Practice it many times until you master it before you move on to the next lesson. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.